Thank you all for continuing to bear with me through these technical difficulties here at App Stupid Studios. Been an eventful day, eventful 24 hours actually. We covered Zach Arnett. He left Mississippi State. He's now with Ole Miss as the defensive coordinator. Wishing him and his family good tidings. Then Nick Saban, he put his foot in his mouth, saying why he's done with college football, blames it on the NIL and the transfer portal. We cover the insanity of Noel Manzone, the only man in football history to be the offensive coordinator at two different high schools during the same season. I don't know who thought that was dope, but you have zero life for even attempting that. And then we covered the recklessness of Andy Reid's son, Britt Reid, who has forever scarred an 8-year-old girl because of his drunk driving accident, and him being freed from prison and having his sentence commuted after having served 3 years, of which he should have been serving 7. We're going to keep it in Chiefs Kingdom because this final story comes from Cody Benjamin of CBS Sports, where Chiefs and Dolphins fans who attended that record-playing cold game, now they need amputations. Oh yeah, this wasn't on ESPN News, ESPN Plus, ESPN2, wasn't on Fox Sports, but again, why would it be? Thousands of fans endured record cold temperatures and wind chills to make the Kansas City Chiefs host the Miami Dolphins in the 2024 NFL playoffs. Now, some of them were facing potential amputations as a result of frostbite. And I've always said this, and I don't care where people go, where people sit, is that right now you're in a situation where NFL games can be played in a dome. There is no need to go ahead and sit outside in record-breaking cold temperatures to watch a football game. And this isn't the only horrible thing that has happened. Some people died also trying to watch the game. 3 people were out at a guy's house or whatever, and then they ended up getting killed. And now you have people who actually attended the game having to get pieces of their body cut off because they had frostbite. Way to sell that one, Roger Goodell. Yep. Dr. Megan L. Garcia, a general surgeon at Kansas City Grossman's Burn Center, told Fox 4 this week that 70% of the medical center patients referred for frostbite injuries suffered at that January wildcard game are being advised to schedule an amputation. So this is a woman who's telling you right off the rip that if you attended that game, 70% of these people are now being advised by their medical physician that they need to cut a piece of their body off. Could you imagine if baseball had baseball fans that needed to go and cut a piece of their body off? At what point does fandom cease? Who's signing up for that? How much skin in the game do you have? Benjamin continues, the matchup kicked off with negative 4-degree temperatures and negative 27 wind chills at GEHA Field in Arrowhead Stadium. I think they pronounce it Gia Field at Arrowhead, making the contest the 4th coldest ever record in NFL history, and the coldest in Chiefs history. Immediately following the game, reports indicated at least 10 fans had been hospitalized with either frostbite or hypothermia. Just let that sink in for a second. And these are these catch and kill stories that the NFL does because they don't want to be implicated, or they don't want people to have any kind of bad feeling or bad taste in their mouth, because they will put their fans in the harm's way at all cost, and then play it up like, oh, this is for the love of the game. This isn't for the love of the game. all those empty platitudes are meant to get the gullible away from their money. Pro teams are a horrible drag on a city's economy. And now it's costing people their arms, their arms and legs, toes and fingers to sit in that game. And they could have done this in St. Louis. They get the same weather reports as anybody else. They could have looked at the 7-day forecast, because from Kansas City to St. Louis is only a 3.5-hour trip. They could have left out Thursday. They could have been in St. Louis at the latest on Saturday, inside a dome, everybody warm, everybody comfortable, and they could have watched that game take place. But for some stupid reason, they had to sit outside, and then now they have frostbite. Now 70% of these people are being told by their physicians and their medical doctors, hey, you need to cut that off. I don't even know how I would feel if somebody asked me, hey, look, man, I know you've been to that Kansas City game. I want to just let you know that you may need to schedule an appointment to cut that big toe off. What? Really? Is that what we're doing? Andy Reid's alcoholic son is out here traumatizing little girls and putting them in comas for 11 days, and y'all letting him walk the streets, and now now you want to cut off my toe. Again, I don't know why this hasn't come up. I don't know why people aren't talking about this. I don't know why this really doesn't sit well with people to even get this out. However, that is the show. Finally, after I think a day and a half of planning and having more and more videos up, that's our show. We will be back. I'm going to drop some weekend edition. Anthony Joshua just knocked out Francis Ngannou. What does this mean? Also, going to talk about some Ryan Garcia saying somehow that the elites tied him to a tree and they had, rap with an E, him, and did some other weird stuff. I don't know, too much to cover. Don't want to go too deep into that, but also want to go ahead and look at March Madness and the seedings and what's going on and the teams that are already in and where they could potentially land. As always, thank you all for hanging out with us here at App Stupid. We'll be back.